What's going on, everyone? This is Dustin Stelzer with another episode of Journey to Master. And today I'm going to address a long-time question. Somebody asked me to make a video about how to deal with working with an asshole. Alright, so this is going to be a highly opinionated topic that's probably going to get a lot of bad comments on it, but such is life, man. C'est la vie. So, most companies that I've worked for, there's been a lot of cool-ass people. Everybody just tries to get along. Depending on who the leadership is, most people will try to take pride in their work and do a good job. It means something to them. But almost every company has this asshole. And normally it's the guy that does the worst work out there. Hacks shit together. Quality is not their forte. Quantity, speed, just trying to get as much shit done in a day as possible. There's a pattern to these kinds of people. Not always. There are some guys that are phenomenal at what they do, and they are just a fucking douche to work for. They like to rip people down. It's a big ego thing. You got to realize that there are people out there with egos. Everybody has an ego, right? And the older that you get, the more wise you get, the more things happen to you. You realize, wow, fuck. What I'm doing and the way that I'm acting and the way that I'm treating people is a direct result of, the shit that's happening in my life. Some people realize it at 20. Some people don't realize this shit till they're 50, and some people never realize it. Some people are just egotistical fucking people, just pricks until the day that they die. And that's just life, man. You should have learned how to deal with that in kindergarten, or in 3rd grade, or in 8th grade, or in high school. You're gonna have to work with people like that the rest of your life. There's just so many fucking people on this planet. And there are a lot of electricians that are just dicks. There's some Facebook groups out there if you want to jump in that fucking ocean. There's some assholes out there that just like to berate people and tell them you have no business being an electrician, you're a fucking hack, you're a douchebag, go kill yourself. There are people like that in this trade, but they're a small percentage, man. The rest of the people out there realize that this is a brotherhood and we all have each other's backs, man. We build each other up. Everybody wants everyone to succeed. We're always trying to learn and teach each other new things and bring up new changes that happen. It's a brotherhood. So the guys out there that are assholes, dude, just fucking let them be. You gotta realize, they're just trying to be happy too. Every person on this planet is just trying to be happy. They just, for some reason, it makes them feel better to act the way they're acting than it does for them to be nice to you, to be kind to you. There's something they get out of it. They're going to feel better about themselves because they're going to feel smarter than you by making you feel like an idiot. It makes them feel big by making you feel small. It's the same thing. If you were to worship somebody and be like, oh my God, this guy's so amazing. A lot of people with Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk at some point was just a fucking dude behind a camera talking about wine. And now he's tens of millions of followers everywhere in the world, and everybody's like, Gary V! You feel small next to this person that you think is big. When you idolize somebody and show them respect, you bring yourself down, you humbleize, you make yourself humble. So you make this other person to be this kind of great thing. It's the complete inverse of each other. So what people do when they're being assholes and they belittle people is, A, they're probably tired of having fucking apprentices that don't know what they're doing. They've had tons of them. They've had to train people that don't know how to use tools. And to do what we do, not only do you have to know how to use tools, but you have to be able to understand some electrical theory. You have to be able to be safe. And there's just so many things that, as a journeyman, we love to get an apprentice that's already got 3 or 4 years help, because it's just everything's smooth. They know how to do everything, so we can train when they've already got a foundation. But there's some guys out there that it just fucking irritates the hell out of, that you have zero experience at all. So to them, they think, I'm so great at what I'm doing, I'm not even going to waste my time with this person. It's going to happen. So to realize that every single person has an ego. Even if you're driving down the road, you can choose to have road rage, or you can choose, if somebody cuts you off, to just be like, you know what, dude, that guy's probably in a hurry. Who knows if his fucking wife's in the hospital having a kid right now? Who knows if he's running from the fucking cops because he's just robbed a bank? Like, we don't know what's going on. We don't. That's probably not a good excuse, but like, we just don't know what people are going through. So to take things personally because somebody else is acting a certain way is a bit childish. I get why you would be scared to work with somebody that's like that. Nobody wants to be belittled. But at the same token, it's on you whether or not you let it bother you. If you're afraid to work with somebody that's an asshole, it's like you're allowing them to win. Do you know what I mean? If you still work with them and you just kind of laugh off the way that they act and treat it like it doesn't faze you, and do the best work that you can do every day, just try to do your best work, that'll speak for itself. After long enough time, that person will probably learn to respect you because they realize that you didn't let their shit faze you, and you still do phenomenal work every day. And you show up on time. You know, like, most of the time when people are assholes, there's a reason that they're being an asshole to you. Either you're a threat to them at some level, you're super likable and people don't like them, so it just makes them want to treat you badly, or you're so fucking new that they just can't stand like wasting their time with you. But there's a reason that they're acting a certain way to you, doing it on purpose. That most of these men are not that unconscious. Some of them are completely unconscious, and they don't realize that they're being an asshole. They just know to be, and they don't ever reflect on themselves and think like, wow, maybe I'm making people not want to be electricians because I'm being a fucking asshole. But there's also some people that just love that. They love making people want to not do this anymore. It's like this fucked up sense of pride, you know? It's like being a sociopath, you know? Like, there's just something off about the way that they operate. But anyways, dude, what I say is, the rest of your life, if you're worried about working with an asshole, the rest of your life, you're going to have to deal with assholes. It's just how this thing goes. I get people in the electrical wizardry group that are just fucking douchebags, and they'll come in there and just start ripping people. And it's like, you know what, dude? This isn't how we work. If you're going to act like that, go somewhere else. You know, like, that's all don't feed the trolls, basically. Don't feed into somebody. Don't give somebody that's an asshole a reason to be a really big asshole. Just fucking don't sweat them, dude. You only get one life. Like, I have no time in my life to worry about somebody else's anger. I don't have road rage. I don't get pissed off. Like, it takes a mountain of shit on my shoulders to finally break me and make me fucking snap. I've just learned over the years to have more patience. Like, I don't drive 70 miles an hour everywhere I'm going in a 50, you know, like, I take my time. I let people be people. I realize that if somebody didn't put their blinker on, they swerve in my lane, it's like, all right, I'll just back off. Like, it's just like not even an ounce of sweat on my forehead. Just brush it off. Like, why am I going to allow somebody that I don't even know what they're going through, has nothing to fucking do with me? Why am I going to let them ruin my day? Why am I going to let them make me angry and change my fucking mood and have that much control over me? Like, I would rather be the one that's in control of my emotions and in control of the way that I think and the way that I feel. I'm not going to let someone else have that power over me that I don't even know, and they're doing something that they don't even know they're doing to me. Or if they're doing it on purpose, you know, even so, it's like, how much control do you want to give to other people over you? Just be strong in yourself and stop fucking worrying what they think and what they say. Like, if you're working with somebody that you consider to be an asshole and is just a fucking dick to you every day, put some music on and just go to work and do the best work that you can, and just laugh in your head and be like, God, this guy's such an egotistical prick, you know? Like, eventually he'll mature, you know? We all get there at different times. We're all stumbling towards the light at varying levels of fucking grace. Nobody's here perfect doing it right. But stop letting people affect you so much, man, because you're gonna have to deal with it the rest of your life. Going to the grocery store, going to the gas station, having a waiter that's just being a dick to you, you know? Like, or being a waiter and people not tipping you. Like, you're just always going to have to deal with douchebags. There's like fucking 8 billion of us on this planet, man. The amount of perspectives and the amount of places people are in their lives and in their minds, it's all varying all over the place. So I think personally that you need to grow some more thick skin and stop worrying about the guy that's being a douchebag. And you know what? Maybe even try to be a douchebag back, but in a funny way. Not a hateful way, but just sometimes people that act like that need someone else to act that way towards them to make them realize, like, oh, he's putting my own shit in my face. That may piss him off even more. But you know, I've found guys that are like super angry and gruff and like feel like they need to push their weight around. Having someone else do it to them, it's like it almost makes them laugh, and it's like, all right, man, I like this guy. He's like me, you know? I don't know, something to try. Maybe none of this is good advice. Maybe all of it is. Maybe only a little bit of it. But I've worked with enough assholes to know that at a certain point, if I'm just doing the best work that I can do, and I give a shit, and I try to take time to know them and to ask them questions about their lives. Because here's another thing. Really, really egotistical people love to talk about themselves. They love other people knowing about themselves. They love, it's themselves. They're so inside of themselves. That's why they don't have time to think about you and care about you. They're just so self-centered and wrapped up in themselves that if they weren't, they would think of other people. They would have the space. They would have an expanded enough consciousness that their bubble includes other people in it, rather than just being like closed, like right here all the time. So as a more conscious person, maybe a more mature person, I don't know, I find it valuable to get to know people, if they're assholes or if they're not, and give a shit about them equally. Like, actually care. Be like, you know what? This man's obviously got a lot of pain. Or this woman, too. There are men and women out there that could use some reaching out to. And as a more conscious person, I think that trying to get to know these men and women, and instead of abandoning them and then just cutting them off and forgetting about them and saying that they're not important, figuring out why they're in pain, or figuring out why they're acting the way that they are, and reaching out to them and trying to build a bridge to them, rather than cutting them off and leaving them in the dirt and just checking the box that they're an asshole and from there on out. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think that we as an industry, as a trade, we need help bridging gaps. Like, we're a very divisive community. If you go into some of these damn Facebook groups, you'll realize that there's a lot of hateful people that have buddies that are also hateful, that have more buddies that are also hateful, and so they kind of think it's cool to have this dick showing match with people and trying to just see how much of an asshole they can be, and then they get their buddies doing it too, so it all makes them feel better about the fact that they probably do terrible work and they're just compensating for something. Or maybe they have some like really bad home life situations and they just need to fucking unleash on somebody else. But you got to realize there's always something going on. It's like children, just like children. I have a kid that I've gotten calls from the principal before, you know, and like once you start figuring out like my kid's starting to show these behaviors, something's fucking up, you know, something's up with him. But I'm not just going to give up on him. I'm going to try to figure this out and see if I can be a help to them in any possible way. That's just me though, man. I try to go about life thinking like I would rather help somebody and figure out what's going on in their life and see if I can be of help to them rather than just cast them out, judge them, and then, you know, basically write them off as whatever box in my mind. I have a little bit more open mind than that towards people. So that's all I got, man. Just try your best to love everybody around you, even the haters, even the trolls, even the douchebags. Everybody's just trying to be happy at the end of the day, and some of us just don't know how to express that, and some of us are not mature enough yet to realize that there are other people in this world and that you're doing a lot of harm to people when you're a fucking asshole to them every day, when you degrade them. Some people just don't know yet. So just be you, do you, grow some thick skin, try to be the bigger person in every situation, and you'll get through it, man. Otherwise, just fucking go to a different company. I don't know. Quit your bitching, though. I love you people. Have a good day. Bye.